Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Oh boy. Mostly.
Well, you know what time it is. It's time for you to get on your computer or your phone or wherever you
Whatever
search
device
this stuff.
you may use.
Go to your favorite podcasting place. Go to YouTube. Wherever. Just search up a little podcast just called They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Please.
On YouTube where They Mostly Come Out at Night podcast.
Please
Look
do.
for our icon with the microphone in the middle and the two beers. Give us a follow, like, mention, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Whatever you want.
Because
We appreciate it.
we can keep bringing you quality shit like this for free if you continue to do that.
Please do. I know I had some other housekeeping.
We have more housekeeping.
I do have housekeeping.
Okay.
I wanted to mention this because this comment has been living rent-free in my head ever since one of you posted it. on our review of the Lucifer Complex, a film that we loved, absolutely loved. Just, I'm no sarcasm there at all.
No, the greatest movie to grace our
I
eyes.
didn't hate it at all. But one of you commented that the most interesting thing about this movie is that the sound engineer is I can't even say it is someone named Dick Pitstick. I can't even
Dick Pitstick?
I can't even fucking say it. Is that a joke? Pitstick.
I want to go back and look, but I don't, because that would mean I'd have to boot up Lucifer Complex again.
I'm pretty sure that's like there. I'm
guaranteeing it is, but
this was posted on the 19th, and I want you to know, sir, that this comment and this name has been living rent free in my head ever since then.
Also, shout out to, I don't know if we mentioned this last time, shout out to who commented on our Black Devil Doll from Hell video. We really appreciate all the comments we've been getting. It's cool to see like interaction.
Also, because we did get another request. An executive decision has been made.
Nope.
Our next episode will be a request because there's quite a few requests, and I want to whittle that down. I want to whittle down that list.
Okay, so we're doing like every 5 episodes now?
So I'm going to say, do not put this into do not write this down. Do not put this into law, but I will be doing it for now every 5. So next one will be a request to whittle that down. So one of you lucky fucks who requested some nonsense will be getting it next time.
Okay.
You'll be getting it.
All right.
Now
on to probably one of the most amazing movies I've watched in
a very long time.
In quite a while.
We love, I mean, you should know this by now, but we do love our martial arts nonsense. I also love ninjas.
The more ridiculous it is, the more I love it.
To an extent.
Well, but like I don't like it where it goes to like into like a farce, basically.
No farce, no hee-haw, and also it has to be, I don't know how to explain this, but it has to, like, on screen, it has to look,
yeah,
I don't know how you want to say it, coherent, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you've been here for a while, our reviews for like martial arts movies kind of vary, but we do like stuff that has like ridiculous shit going on, like the Devil's Express.
Yes.
For example, that had some fucking insane, like, time-bending, demonic, like, fight scene at the end, and it was fucking incredible.
That was an amazing movie.
There was some superhero beatdown at the end of the movie, and it was absolutely nuts. But it worked.
Yes.
For our lizard brains, it worked, and so did this movie. It's called The Super Ninja.
The Super Ninja.
Or Ninja Force. The rip we had was called Ninja Force.
Yeah, but
so I guess there's alternative titles. Obviously.
Everywhere, all these movies, these like weird fucking martial arts dub fests have like a bajillion titles.
Yeah.
But the one that I've seen everywhere is the Super Ninja. Now, before we get into it, this movie is on YouTube, I believe.
Yes.
I think it's on Tubi, wherever the fuck. Now, keep in mind, we did watch the
Uncut
version, which I can guess what that included. Now, so I don't know if those other ones are uncut, but either way, if you like stupid lizard brain nonsense, you owe it to yourself to watch this.
If you're like into, have you ever like gone into like a bargain bin, like a bargain DVD bin, and seen
Yes.
those like martial arts collections of like 50 to 100 like movies for like $4, and you're like, you know what? I know these are all gonna be shit, but maybe
There's a diamond in the rough.
there's a diamond in the rough. And if this was on that collection, this would be your diamond in the rough, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because it is surprisingly well done. It is really stupid. Don't get me wrong. But it's surprisingly well done. The acting is horrendous. But, like, the action scenes are so ridiculous and so constant that you really don't think about anything else.
And the joy of it is that the action scenes are constant, but they're not boring.
Well, and I mean the acting, if you can even call it that, is so laughably like
Basic?
exaggerated and basic
Yeah.
that it's hilarious to watch. And the dub is absolutely horrendous, but that adds to the effect.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get into the Super Ninja. So we start out with a white ninja, and I don't mean
Not his race.
Caucasian.
Like
he's
dressed,
dressed
in white.
all in white. He's running across a bridge, Naruto style, and
a lot of that.
two ninjas
Black ninjas
fly out of the water
and attack him.
and attack him. He takes them out both easily, and then runs off screen.
Well, then a bunch of other.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. He runs into the woods.
There's more ninja fights. They're all insane. And then he gets to a young old man. Now, what do I mean? We've used this phrase before.
Yes.
Young old man. Because for some reason,
At this point, if we make merchandise ever, this is going to be a design.
a young old man.
Young old man.
Is when you watch a martial arts movie and they have a obviously younger actor whose hair is very clearly dyed gray to make him look old and wise.
You could make a fighting game roster with how many we've seen so far.
We've seen so many. Usually they do it because it's like you need a fight scene where the guy has to move like a young man.
Like, he has to be nimble
But
and like
in movie logic,
yeah.
he's an old man.
Well, because he's a master, right? So like he's mastered these
So
techniques.
we get young old man. And this movie has two.
So it's all a training exercise.
Just after this, yeah, it's like a training exercise
And then it literally just cuts.
to a woman being attacked in a park
Yes.
by a bunch of hooligans.
And a guy, like, they beat the shit out of the guy. They
Well, they like two guys show up, and it's like it's an Asian guy and a black guy, and they beat up.
right, these thugs.
I forgot? Did the woman have a guy with her?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's why I was
He
saying,
just-
like, they beat the
he
shit.
just vanishes.
No,
Yeah.
because they beat the shit out of the guy and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And then they start trying to take advantage of the woman, and these our two protagonists
Yeah.
show up and
Beat the shit out of them.
beat the absolute fuck out of these thugs.
And then we get that quintessential scene that you get in any like 80s movie about like a badass cop where the captain's like chewing them out.
Well, yeah, but he's like racist.
But he's like you colored boys don't get it. Because okay,
It's so
this is so ludicrous because apparently one of the hooligans was the son of a senator.
well, it's kind of hard to describe because
It's so insane.
they'll listen. Trying to decipher this script would be like using a Rosetta Stone. Like you'd have to use a Rosetta Stone to decipher the script because it is so nonsensical. Because he's just chewing them out for beating up a senator's son, even though they all look like thugs.
Basically,
And-
because they don't have a witness or anything.
Well, there's a process. You have to have at least.
This is America.
He goes to like. He goes to like lengths of being like, you have to have at least one witness. You have to like have
Evidence.
probable cause, evidence, like all this
you
stuff.
got nothing.
And you can tell it's America, Alex,
Please.
because there's American flags plastered all over every single wall, but not just like, you know, a big American flag, just a medium-sized one on every wall, and that's it.
Every wall in this American police station.
And there's a can of Coke on one of the desks. Okay.
Oh, I wasn't gonna mention the Coke. Listen, Coke is international. That's fine. But I was gonna
But it's an
mention
American can of Coke.
that I was gonna mention that multiple
And a
desks,
little tiny American flag.
multiple desks in the police station have tiny
Because
American flags.
we're definitely filming in America.
This totally wasn't filmed in Asia.
Not filmed in China like the rest of the movie is.
Nope.
No, it's filmed in America.
It's comical. But yeah, he chews them out, and that's a scene. And then we get like a drug deal.
Yeah, so they're exchanging money for drugs, and we get our. He's kind of important a little. I mean, not very. I mean, he's just a thug. It's just a mob boss guy, and
He looks comical.
I
want
would
to point that out.
in any gangster film, he'd be called like Slim, like because he's like this awkward, lanky,
Tiny dude.
with like a pencil mustache.
But yeah, and they're doing like a drug deal, and they get attacked by these wacky colored ninjas, and they, I guess, take the drugs or something.
Excuse you, they're elemental ninjas, okay?
But that's later.
I know, but they have.
There's a point to the colors.
There's a point to the colors,
I
okay?
know, but that's later.
Yeah, I know.
In
One
the
is a shiny gold, one is camo, one is red, one is blue, and then one is
He's just black.
black. Yeah.
Could be wrong, but yeah. And they take the drugs, I guess, and then there's like a scene where
I will admit, it's an hour and 31 minutes. This movie moves quick.
It moves so
Like,
quick,
the
I
plot-
don't even remember the order of scenes.
The plot line moves really quickly because almost immediately, I don't remember if there's a scene before this, but they go to the detective's house, the Asian detective's house.
I think there's a scene
Like the
before
Chinese
this where we see the ninjas, the evil ninjas, like talking, and they do that thing where they film the fish.
Yeah.
And you see the
Oh, so yeah, we get an idea that they have like a master that they're all
Yeah.
following, and he wants to like basically take over this giant drug ring, and take out anyone that's going to stand in his way.
that's why they attack the mobsters.
So we get kind of an idea that he's evil. He wants a drug ring. He wants he has this lavish lifestyle, and then for no reason, we're just at the Chinese detective's house.
Yeah, he's exercising.
And he's exercising, and we're having this awesome montage where he's doing push-ups on a skateboard for some reason, and
He's
pulling
exercising his
himself
abs,
up like by his feet, and like all this shit. And then for no reason, the chief comes in with two cops, and they start hassling him and saying like, "Oh, you backstabbed us. We heard report. I can't believe you've done this. There's reports that you're hiding drugs in here. We'll
He's like, "What are
find
you
out."
talking about?
And the guy's like, "Do you have a warrant?" And they just start searching his house.
And they just they find a little fucking baggie of like cocaine.
He's like,
or
"You're
something.
coming down." Like the chief goes from 0 to 1,000 real fucking quick.
Yeah, and they arrest
He's
him.
like, "You're coming with me. You're coming with us."
They arrest him, and it's like his it's like his girlfriend and her family are like freaking out.
We're like, "What are we gonna do?" And they're hassling him in jail, giving him a bunch of shit and calling him all these slurs and stuff. And
The other thing is his girlfriend's dad is like a scientist. And
well, he's developing something. We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
And we know that he has an adopted son and a full-blood daughter. And
he's just like, well, you can't. Because they're just like, why don't you do something? You're rich, get him out of prison. And he's like, this is America.
he's like,
Can't do that.
there's rules and ethics we have to follow. And we have to,
like all this.
and if he's innocent, then he's going to be fine.
Meanwhile, they're torturing him. And there's a scene where it's literally just, it's comical because it just keeps escalating. He's talk. and then he doesn't talk, and then they smack him in the stomach with batons.
What's that? Okay, I'm thinking of a movie. Do you remember that movie where they're... Oh, what is it? Shit. They're interrogating the two people, and they, like, bring in a dummy and start, like, burning the dummy, and, like, it, like, deflates it, and, like, the guy, like, turns its head around and, like, imitates breaking its neck.
I don't.
Why? Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
This scene reminds me of that because
I was gonna say,
like how much it escalates.
Do you remember the movie Blue Streak?
Yeah.
There's the part where he's like interrogating the guy because the main character in the movie, like he's like a criminal pretending to be a cop, and so he arrests his criminal friend, and he's like, okay, just go with me, just go with it, and he like beats him up with a phone book and all this shit, and they're all like watching him like, God damn, he's fucking great. He's insane. He's going to get all the information, and he's just, like, totally fucking with them.
Was it Dude, Where's My Car? I
Maybe.
think there's an interrogation scene in that. I can't remember, but there's a ridiculous interrogation scene. If anyone knows it, please comment.
But this is that.
I need to know. But it's that.
Like, they punch him in the stomach with batons. They're like, okay, you asked for it. And then they hit him in the shins.
They drag his, he's on the ground, they drag his legs to the table and put him up on the table and then just hit his shins.
But each time he's being like tortured, he gets flashbacks of his ninja teacher basically telling him pain
like
is not
how to
real.
endure through pain. And it's hilarious because next, like after the flashback, he's literally being choked out by a chain and they're pulling on it
harder. And like again, more flashbacks, and then he's like, all right, you asked for it. And then they hook him up to, like, electricity.
It is so excessive. Like, the like brutality scene.
And it's like, he's, like, being electrocuted. And then finally he gets the master boss level flashback that tells him pain isn't real.
Because, like, in the flashback, he's tied up in the desert.
Yeah.
On these 4 posts and, like, suspended by only his body weight.
Mind.
And he's like, I can't do it. And then, like, eventually he's like, I can do it, master. I can endure.
And then he basically they zap him with maximum power, and it does nothing to him.
But don't worry, it gets more ridiculous than this because his girlfriend comes in and she's like, what are you doing? Stop. And, like, the guy's like, oh, the chief is like, oh, this is your... Like, the chief is so comically evil, it's just insane.
Yeah, he's
like,
oh,
this is your girlfriend? And then proceeds to, like...
He's like, I'm gonna have to search her.
Yeah, he, like, unzips her dress and, like, proceeds to, like,
grope her.
Like, grope her and essay her and, like, just, like...
And then he's like, okay, I'll let you two talk. And then they leave, and she basically just tells him, like, be careful, like, you have to get out of here.
Yeah, so he's sitting in his jail cell, and this cop is harassing him and throwing coffee on him, and then...
You drug dealer.
He's like, come here, you drug dealer, and he's, like, sitting next to the bar, and the guy, like, lifts up his baton to hit him, but then the guy holds up a blanket to the fucking jail cell, and, like,
drops it, then he's not there anymore.
And so the guy, like, unlocks it. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. And
like, he can't
goes,
find him.
He goes in, and the guy, like, the detective trips him, and then he falls, and he, like, beats him up, and then he goes out into the...
He beats up, like, 50 cops.
He, like, just...
And then he goes into the office of, like, the chief, beats him up.
Well, and I love how, like, all the cops, their first thing, like, not to stop him, not to, like, detain him... They just pull out the Uzis and the fucking, like, handguns and just start firing away. Just destroy this fucking office.
It's great.
Like, they just fucking obliterate everything.
Oh, it's so epic.
And so, so he goes and beats up the police chief. Like, kicks the shit out of him. And then goes outside and scares all of them by firing an Uzi and destroying everything else.
And then he runs away. Oh, God. I think there's, like... I don't even remember. I think they go to, like... I swear to God, there's another useless scene of the evil ninjas, like, talking. And then he goes to...
Well, he goes to his master because he needs advice.
His master basically tells him to kick ass.
Well, like, yeah, he's like, I need your help. Like, I don't know what to do because they're trying to frame me. And, like, where do I go from here? And the guy's like, well, just remember... Like, basically the equivalent of the the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah. Kick their ass. So he goes...
He's like, listen, Like Duke once said, I came to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
He goes to the fucking the Slim, the fucking baby mobster. He goes beats up his henchman and then confronts him and is like, like, who is doing this?
So the guy
He gives him a name.
He gives him a name, but then like pretty much dies almost immediately, doesn't he?
After there's because there's a scene where the evil ninjas so there's a part where the fucking guy, the chief and
so I remembered his name. Sorry, I do apologize. For context, the detectives we're talking about, like, his name is John. Isn't it John?
It is John.
Yeah,
so they had to give him the
most basic ass name,
American name imaginable.
Yeah, so John. We'll refer to him as John. This is our protagonist.
Yes. But yeah, so the cops are at the house of the girlfriend and the dad. And they're like, "Where's John?" And the dad basically tells them.
Well, they're trying to interrogate him.
And the dad's like, "You know what? I support him. He's gonna be my my son-in-law."
Well, and as like John sneaks into the woman is taking a shower, like his girlfriend is taking a shower, so he sneaks into the shower and they start making out.
And then the cop is like, "I'm gonna talk to her."
The chief is like, "I'm gonna talk to her.
He opens the door and like John hides, and she throws like a roll of toilet paper at him.
Yeah.
And then literally. After this, it literally cuts to them on a bed, and we get the most...
Listen, I'm not going to describe this scene, but just know it is literally a 5-minute sex scene.
I'm not joking, the only thing that would have made this scene more explicit is if you saw full-blown dicks in your face.
Because she's nude the entire time. And it's just playing a fucking stupid ass song.
Like a saxophone.
Yeah, and like they're just literally like
you see like it's like
I will okay, so I guess we'll like I won't go like too much into it, but the end
I mean, what do you say, I guess?
The end of the scene is so fucking hilarious where like her like gyrating on top of him, and it shows her ass like just like gyrating on top of this guy as he's like awkwardly groping it as the camera's like going like
2 inches away.
It is such an awkward angle.
Well, don't forget, there's also like because there's a bit where like after they're done making out, he goes down on her and then she's like kissing his nipples and then she fucking like
remember what I mentioned?
He's wearing like PJs.
This will be my final thought on this scene. Remember what I mentioned? I said
Please
this
do.
is the unsexiest sex scene I think I've ever
that is
watched.
a fucking lie. That is a horrible lie, sir. The unsexiest sex scene we've watched was only a couple episodes ago.
And Black Devil Doll from Hell?
I'm gonna fuck yeah, that shit. Because at least you
with the bacon tongue.
You can't forget the bacon tongue on the nipples. Because at least you can say, Will, that this sex scene came from a place of love.
Too much love, I would say, but yes.
Too much, and I'm assuming that when our version of the film says uncut, that's
is what they meant. Because I'm sure the first original version just had some tasteful, maybe like a 2-minute scene.
Now, this is, if you showed this to the MPAA, there would be some very red cheeks.
Ain't no fucking MPAA involved in any of this shit, okay? Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? They didn't send this in.
Praise the Lord.
They didn't send this in for review. This is NR, my friend.
Praise the Lord that they didn't, honestly.
So after the scene, we basically, John goes to the friend's house, his other detective friend. Spencer. He like sneaks into his house. They tussle a little bit, and then he's like, "How's everything in the department?" And he's like, "It's fine, but they're on the hunt for you. Like they're looking for you like all over the place." And then why am I struggling? I'm struggling to remember the plot because I remember the fight scenes, but I'm struggling.
The fight scenes are the plot, sir.
Yeah.
No, there's because he basically tells them like, "Okay, I'm still like looking for what's going on."
Yeah.
And then we get another scene of the evil ninjas, and they're like, "Okay, now we kill everybody." Remember?
Yeah. So they just like start murdering everyone. They go into Slim's
the
mobsters like hideout and kill fucking everyone.
Kill everybody, and then they attack. So right before this, he talks to his John talks to his master.
So how does he figure out they're elemental ninjas?
I don't know.
I don't think it ever explained how he knew that.
Something happened. I know someone told him or something, but for some reason he knew.
So now the master is describing these elemental ninjas there, and it's actually pretty cool. It's like a character select screen. You get he describes each of them as it's showing their powers and like what they can do. So there's metal that can like is just really strong, like really like
good with swords, I guess.
Good with swords and weapons and incredibly strong.
Yeah.
And then there's fire, who can manipulate fire and have his hands on fire. And then there's water, who can go through water really quickly. There's wood, wood.
Yeah.
Wood that can like jump from tree to tree and like disappear into forests.
Yeah. The forest ground and stuff.
Yeah, and can like climb on trees like with ease and all that shit.
Then there's earth.
There's earth that can go underneath the ground. He can,
like a fucking
disappear into rocks.
It's like that fucking
shit.
thing from Beetlejuice. Or the fucking graboids from Tremors.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah, basically. And that's them. And so the master's like, "You're gonna die."
They're under the ground. They're under the goddamn ground.
What are you doing?
And
I've got a goddamn plan. Please watch Tremors.
Yeah, please. I implore you.
What the fuck are you doing? What's the name of this podcast? Watch Tremors.
Yeah.
But the master's like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah. I do love it because he's basically like,
there's no hope for you.
There's no defeating these guys. Yeah. No one has ever defeated them. Yeah. You're fucked. Like, get fucked, nerd. Like, you're dead.
And then I think we get.
Because he even says like, you must accept that you will die.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's a scene. I think it was before this, where our dude turns into Rambo.
Oh no! Yeah, we did forget that scene.
And if there's that scene, somebody watched First Blood, because there's that scene in First Blood where he's like hiding in the forest and he just booby traps all the fucking cops.
Well, it's like I said, Alex, and you'll realize this, and I don't know if you guys haven't realized this already. Please. This is just a collection of sequences, the action sequences, that pretty much make no sense together, mashed together.
Oh, they make sense. Well,
I mean, you loosely thread a plot through them. They do.
For my lizard baby brain.
Because this Rambo scene is... He never dresses up like this again.
There is a point to this scene.
I know.
The point of this scene is to get the cops off his back.
Yes.
Because what he does is he bamboozles them so hard.
Well, like he doesn't kill them. He just scares them. Yeah.
He beats them up, but he doesn't kill anybody. But they all get like booby trapped and stuff. And he punches the fucking police chief really fucking hard. And basically tells him to leave me alone, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene of the evil ninjas like attacking his like father-in-law and his girlfriend, and
they take the brother.
Yes. And
then they punch the dad so hard he dies, basically.
Yeah, and but John's there. He fights them, and we see them using all their fucking powers and shit. He basically fights them off, and the scene goes to a logging camp.
It's like basically a log mill.
Yeah.
And so he's
fighting all of them.
He's fighting all of them. He kind of gets the upper hand. He's like beating all of them, and then they finally like start actually like winning. And they throw shurikens into him. They like do
bleeding all over.
They cut him a bunch, and then they finally throw a bomb at him, and you think he's dead, basically.
He's blown up.
But then
everyone thinks he's dead.
So everyone thinks he's dead, even like the girlfriend, everyone, because everyone saw him, quote unquote, saw him die.
Apparently.
So you see him crawling out of the wood pile.
But he's bleeding like crazy. His girlfriend's like, "I'm going back to Hong Kong," and because the movie wasn't filmed.
So presumably there's no it doesn't show a time skip, but presumably there's a few weeks have gone by.
Are you saying this because he has a fake mustache?
Yes. Well, also because she's decided to go back to Hong Kong, and it's been a while.
Supposedly.
But he jumps into the back of Spencer's car, and Spencer notices something's there. He gets out. They fight again a little bit.
They tussle a little.
And then he's like, okay, like he's like, what? You're alive? And like he's like, yeah. Everyone thinks I'm dead.
And then he's like, well, your girlfriend's going back to Hong Kong and all this stuff. And he's like, okay, well,
He's like, I guess I'll go back too.
I'll go with you.
And then Spencer's
Cool.
like, I'll go with you. Let
Meet me
me
in Hong
help
Kong.
you.
And because the reason is that the girlfriend has a uncle in Hong Kong, and this is a young old man number 2. So they go to Hong Kong.
Well, don't we also get this scene in the sunset before he goes to
Yes,
Hong
I
Kong
believe so.
about like the master telling him that he must like learn about the future and the past to defeat
fucking
these
crazy
to
shit.
defeat. It's just like martial arts like
It's
gobbledygook.
fucking like it's like, you know how like science fiction has like technobabble? It's like technobabble for ninjas.
Martial arts babble.
And he basically tells them like all this shit, but the gist of it is he has to get them all like one by one, and then he can defeat them.
Yes, that's the
So-
only way he can defeat them.
You know, the girlfriend's, she's like at the grave of the dad, I guess, with her uncle, who is young old man number 2, and there's already ninjas watching them. That the evil ninjas followed her there because she has, because we found out earlier, we did mention this because the movie moves like a fucking speeding bullet, that her dad had a formula that would instantly drop people's like addiction to drugs, like literally, like instantly.
So it's
And-
like it's affecting the drug trade.
So it's bad for the drug trade. It's bad for the evil ninjas, and they want the formula to stop it. So they fucking, we get a scene where they like attack. I guess the uncle has like a dojo.
So they attack all of them. They kill like literally everyone,
They fucking
including
murk
the uncle.
everyone. John shows up again. They go like he fights them all off. They go into like a park. They fight with Spencer, and then Spencer, we find out he's
He turns on John
because why does he turn on John? Will
because if he has money, he
will
has
be respected.
He'll be respected by not just respected by the white man.
yes, it's
Um,
hard out here.
and it's hard out here, and so if he has money, he'll have power, and power is the only thing, the currency that talks.
It's how the world runs.
Yep.
And that's it.
And then John's like, I can't believe that you're going to choose respect of someone of like
People who
of,
hate you
of
and-
people who hate you over a friend.
And then they fight. Meanwhile, they take they take the girlfriend.
Yeah,
They kidnap her.
and they
So our 2 dudes fight. John wins, and Spencer like hobbles back.
and we also so Spencer hobbles back, but then John's following him.
Yeah.
So Spencer like hobbles back. He's like, I tried to kill him, but I couldn't do it. And he's like you
failed.
You attempted, but you failed. And then the guy, he's like, tie him up too. But before that, he goes into the
Girlfriend said,
girlfriend setup, and he's like, I don't know why they're so obsessed with like taking advantage of this woman, but
how do you establish your bad guys are
but
truly evil?
he like starts groping her and everything. And she's like, stop it! And he like
She rips off his
and you realize it's
mask.
the adopted brother.
She's like, I can't believe you. He's like, money.
He's like, money and dad's thing was affecting my drug
My
trade.
money.
It was
and my
affect-
money.
He even specifically says my lifestyle.
Yeah, my life. And all this shit, and he's like, I had to do it, and all this shit, and then like he
They-
leaves.
So they tie up both of them, put them in the
bathroom.
It basically looks like a bathroom. And then John decides to go. I don't know where he got all this shit, but it plays this fucking epic music as he's getting all
Suited up.
white ninja'd out. And he fucking like gets all his weapons, everything shuriken, fucking size, like kunai, fucking everything. And he's ready to go.
He goes to he gets in the hideout. He like climbs up a wall with like fucking
Claws.
ninja gloves.
And then he throws down a springboard.
No, before that,
Oh.
he has to run across like a
Oh, that's
balcony
right.
thing.
Yeah.
And so he throws down a little black carpet.
Oh, we did forget to mention after he gets all suited up, we get this epic just like montage of him running on sand and then running in
through the water, yeah.
running
It's
through
in
the
slow-mo,
in
yeah.
the fucking ocean, and
Yeah.
like just like running.
Doing the Naruto run. And, but yeah, he throws down a little black carpet.
And he like pitter patters across it.
And I guess it's the ninja carpet that silences all noise.
It's only used once.
It's only used once. And then
We get our Mario fucking like
He literally
little
puts
tighties.
down-
It's a spring with a piece of plywood on top of it. It's a giant spring that they put a fucking piece of plywood on top of it.
jumps on it.
And he
then
boings himself. He boings himself onto the balcony.
But don't forget, he somehow he has like a rope or something attached to it, so he takes it with him, and he somehow hides it somewhere, and then he
And then he uses a grappling hook to the.
let's get to the last floor, and then he sees
This is the greatest acting ever because he goes, he looks into the bathroom, and they're like, John, and
he
like,
throws a shuriken.
and they're like, John.
Yeah, like John question mark.
I would love to see the script page for that. John exclamation point. John question mark. That's the only like dialogue in that scene.
Yeah, and then they realize like, oh, so he, like Spencer like hobbles over at his chair and starts like basically cutting the rope with it.
So now it's time for John to take out the ninjas.
He takes them out one by one.
So we start with our fire dude. Which is
Gets fucking exploded.
so he like singles out the fire dude. They're fighting a little bit, and then the fire dude like is going to throw a bomb, and John throws a shuriken into his arm, and the guy drops it and explodes himself.
You just see fucking pieces of fire.
And then he takes out Metal next because he like fights with Metal and just cuts him a bunch.
He's the guy in the house, right?
Huh?
Is it the guy in the house?
The gold guy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he fights him and he basically kills him with swords.
Yeah. So he just cuts him up with a bunch of swords. He's basically using their elements against them.
Yeah, he finds the water guy at like a pool. They fight in the pool.
And then like the water guy like throws a sword and John kicks it back at him and then like
And it
impales
zooms
him.
through the water and impales him.
So now there's only two left.
Yeah.
We got earth and wood. So he goes into the forest and starts fighting both of them. And he's like, you think he's like got the upper hand. Wood is like flying around and doing all this flippy fucking shit.
I'm not even going to begin to describe the insanity of the wood fight.
I can't really describe the fight scenes. That's why I've been like glazing past them because they're really hard to describe. They use a lot of techniques though. Like I will say, like they use a lot of like martial arts, like cheesy martial arts techniques, like speeding up the shots. They do a lot of like those things where they'll do something in reverse basically, but play it like it's going forward
to make it look like people are jumping around like crazy.
Yeah, and then they'll do like a lot of slow-mo and they'll do a lot of quick cuts, like really quick cuts where it's just like it shows it for just long enough so it doesn't look stupid, but like long enough that you comprehend what's going on.
You know what's happening, but you just have to see it.
It's just really good. It's actually pretty well done. Yeah. Like they're very entertaining to watch. Because it's total fucking insanity. It's like brain melting how fucking like insane these fucking fight scenes are.
Brain melting how much it breaks the laws of physics and logic.
So he's fighting Wood, and then he finally like he like deflects a shuriken back into like Wood's like head.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the guy dies. And then he's fighting with Earth, and Earth's like swimming through the ground, and then all of a sudden someone else comes up and like, you know, slices him a bunch. So he's wondering what's going on, and like he like throws something at Earth, but then Earth's clothes like just disappear.
Yeah.
He disappears into the ground, but his clothes are still there.
Oh yeah, he just like tunnels away, and
then it's our big bad evil dude.
Yeah.
Has finally come out to fight John. Mm-hmm. Because John's taken out all his other ninjas.
And also Spencer shows up.
Yes.
Because he got out of his ropes and everything.
So he's fighting with Earth is now a naked dude in a diaper. I'm not even shitting you. So
that's
he's fighting Earth and the big bad. And Earth is literally a dude in a diaper now.
Yes.
A bald dude in a diaper just fighting with them.
And then and John's getting cut up a bunch. When Spencer shows up, he fucking kicks Earth so hard.
He kills him.
You see it on screen for like 2 seconds, but the dude fucking flies like 100 feet away.
Well, he spits up a bunch of like blood and like flies like
100 feet away and then dies. But then and then they're about to fight with the big bad, and then he like zaps away, and they run, and now we're at the beach.
Because you have to have a final fight scene at the beach.
It has to be an epic location, okay?
This fight scene is so long and ridiculous.
You just have to see it.
You just have to watch it. It's so bonkers because
they ramp up the epic slow mo.
And both of them just get absolutely fucking like shredded with like weapons and shit like that, and like they like are fighting each other the whole time. Like at one point, the bad guy like bends John's size and like he's using a bunch of different weapons, and then finally he stabs Spencer with 2 swords. And
so he's like incapacitated.
He's incapacitated, and at one point, John kicks him into
Spencer.
No.
So the bad guy's he's about to kick John, and Spencer is like next to him. He like moves him out of the way
and like launches John up, and then stabs the guy with the 2 swords.
He takes the guy's like he takes the swords that the bad guy stabbed him with, and then stabs the bad guy in like the knees.
Yeah, and then John punches the wounds a bunch, and then so the bad guy's like staggering back against a cliff, and then he puts himself up against the cliff and disappears.
Yeah.
And so John is like looking for him.
Kneels down and closes his eyes.
We get this, it's cliche, but it's awesome. Okay.
Listen, only a ninja can defeat another ninja.
So he's like focusing, and then you see like footprints on the sand.
And then you see blood dripping on rocks.
And then John knows, and so he jumps up with his last shuriken and throws it into the guy's forehead.
Kills him.
And then they all get up and walk into the sunset.
End film.
End movie. Listen.
I adore this film.
This movie is so stupid, but so entertaining. I can't help but love it.
There's a scene where it's when the master is describing the 5 elemental ninjas, and it shows wood, and there's a part where he's like fighting 2 random dude bros in the woods.
Oh, and he flies everywhere, tying ropes to fucking everything.
You see like mind-breaking footage of this Goomba flying through the air and like tying these guys in like ropes. It almost looks like something out of like fucking Kentucky Fried Movie or something because of how insane it is. And like my brain started leaking out of my ears. And then eventually you get a shot of like these dudes just tied up, and there's like a billion ropes around them. And then the dude just flies at them and chops.
Well, he flies through the middle of them, and both their heads fly off.
It's so fucking insane. Like that scene, I think my brain started like melting because it was so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, it's all done with like it's practical, no CG.
Well, also no fucks given, which is the real winner here, because they did not care.
No, it's all about entertaining you.
You could tell someone just thought this looked fucking cool and just made the fucking movie.
Yeah, and then like the end fight scene, you get like those classic shots where like, you know, they slow it down so that the dude can do like some fucking crazy kick, and you see him like you leap in the air and just both fucking legs just smack the guy in the chest, and it's like it's all on camera. It never gets old.
Yeah,
it just never gets old.
You have wide shots of people actually doing martial arts. Yes, it's sped up, but it still looks fairly good. I don't know, like it's so entertaining. Like, this movie is so goddamn entertaining.
This is engineered to entertain you.
And again, it tickles our lizard brains.
Oh god.
Like, we love this kind of shit, so it went into our goop brains and was like, we're gonna give you good looking fight scenes, and we're like, yes, please.
You will be entertained.
Give me more. You will be entertained.
They're like, yes, master.
Yes, master, I will be entertained.
That's literally.
I mean, the plot is dumb. It's a stupid movie, but it's entertaining as hell. It's so good.
it's got all the cliches.
Well, and the
got-
fight scenes are surprisingly well done. I would say the effects, like again, they don't linger on them too much, so like you know what's going on, and it doesn't look like completely fucking awful.
Yeah.
So like, I think the fight scenes are pretty well done. They're very entertaining, and there's a lot of them. So if
The
you
whole film.
the whole fucking movie is basically one giant fight scene. So
Endless.
if that's something you're into, definitely check out the Super Ninja.
Especially if you are into ninja, like 80s ninja madness, which boy oh boy do I love.
I do.
You gotta give
Listen,
it a
I
watch.
love fucking bargain bin martial arts movies. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
They're fucking awesome. You can find some really good shit, and I think this belongs with them.
this is that.
This is some good shit. This is good, stupid bullshit, but I love it. It's so dumb, but so entertaining.
It's so dumb but so good.
Yep. And Shitty to Pretty, I don't know, on entertainment value,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's a 10.
it is. I was entertained the whole time. It didn't even feel like an hour and 31 minutes.
No, this was so entertaining. Like I'm not even joking. Like time did not exist.
It just flew by. Our fucking props to the costuming department, because like John looked like a badass like most of the time. Like he either had like the typical like leather jacket and blue jeans, or Rambo, or
yeah,
the
seriously.
white ninja outfit. Like just everything. Like they knew how to make that dude look cool, and
You
they
also-
did it every chance they got.
You got some. I will say you got some dope eyebrow acting from him too.
Oh yeah, he did.
There's
Especially during the
so-
interrogation
There's
scene.
so little dialogue at some points in this. Like our dude just talks through like eyebrows and facial expressions.
And the costuming department did pretty good with like the ninjas too. Like you could tell, like the ninjas, all the elements were different colors, so you knew which one he was fighting and what they could do.
Because initially I was like, why the fuck is one of our dudes a gold ninja? And then they told us, and I was like,
Metal,
oh, we're on that level of insanity.
yes.
They're just magic.
One of them had literally like a fucking like camo.
Yes.
Like Wood was dressed
Get it?
head to toe in camo.
Wood.
Yeah. I don't know. Just just watch the movie. It's really good. Like it's just entertaining as fuck. I'm not gonna say it's like a fucking amazing, like it's not Oscar worthy at all or fucking anything like that. It's just fucking entertaining and fun. And sometimes that's all you fucking need.
Yeah, trust me.
You don't need this crazy bullshit. Just watch something fun and entertaining.
Watch something entertaining.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
That's what movies are for sometimes.
Yes.
Just to fucking turn your fucking
Escapism.
turn your lizard brain off and just fucking consume
Consume sheep.
sheep. That's all you need to
The
do.
only time I will consume is you dangle some fucking nonsense like this in front of my brain.
I'm
Oh,
a
baby.
I'm a sucker for it. Really, I really am.
I love this shit.
Eh,
Like, I'm sorry.
It's fucking
You can-
great.
Like, whatever. Like, you throw some fucking bullshit that costs $500 million and has CGI fucking people punching each other for 2 hours. I'm bored out of my mind. But you give me some shit that costs $5.
Well, it definitely beats like my like biggest pet peeve trope that they've been using lately is that thing where they'll show like close-ups of the person so you know it's them fighting.
Yeah.
But then when they show the actual fight scene, it's like clearly a stunt double or it's CGI.
Or it's just fake.
And
It's
then
not even on-
they'll just show the reaction shot of
Show a
like,
guy, like,
of
shaking
the
his
guy
head.
like getting kicked back
Yeah.
or something, and then it'll go back into the fight scene and it's just fake.
Yeah, the whole point of movies like this is that you watch them because you want to see these Goombas actually fucking...
And it's actually them the whole time. That's what I can appreciate. It's like you can clearly tell it's the actors
fighting and
fighting
jumping
and jumping and doing stunts.
and possibly getting injured.
And yes,
I love
they
it.
fought slow and then sped it up, but it still looks better than CGI bullshit.
Yes. And besides, you still get shots of our dudes getting smacked in the chest.
Exactly.
Getting
And
smacked in the
slow
chest,
mo kicking each other in the chest.
like kicking each other in the chest, or like all this shit. I mean, obviously, like you can you can pull back a little, but still, on camera, you can see our dude getting both fucking feet right in the chest. And it's like, hey, you take it for the movie.
Yep.
And I love it. I love this shit.
Yeah, so go watch Super Ninja. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say.
I don't.
Just a solid fucking stupid martial arts movie.
That's
all you need. That's all you need. Go watch it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. For they mostly come out at night. This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Oh, the elemental ninjas? Yeah, you're fucked.
Money.
Yeah,
I did money. You ruining my lifestyle.
Yeah, you're you're talking about you have to fight the elemental ninjas? Yeah, you're fucked.
You're dead.
You're dead.
But actually, if you fight them one, if you fight them one,
well,
one-on-one,
yeah. Now that I thought about it,
okay, you survived. You're fine.
Get wrecked.